Where you sell is all about Nexus.
Where you have a tax responsibility.
What does Nexus even mean? That's a good place to start.
And Nexus is just a fancy word for I've got you on the hook, or you're responsible to collect my tax in my state.
The state's ability to indicate whether you have a responsibility to collect their tax.
The link or connection that your company has to a state that allows the state to impose their sales tax laws on you.
Where that used to be based on where your operations happened.
Where my employees are located, my contractors are located, both W-2 and 1099.
Inventory that you own that's stored in the state.
My office locations, headquarters, maybe where I make deliveries in my own vehicles.
That's called physical nexus.
Nexus used to be based on your physical locations, your physical activity.
In 2018, as we all are aware, Wayfair in South Dakota went to the Supreme Court, and they created, as a result of this court case, an economic nexus threshold.
That's when the introduction of economic nexus came into play.
And in that case, you only have nexus after you reach a certain threshold in revenue or sales.
In that realm, even that can be a little bit complicated.
Most states have a threshold of either $100,000 or 200 transactions.
Economic nexus might be, for one state, the sales that you've had in the previous 12 calendar months. In another state, it could be based on a rolling 12 months. In one state, it could be based on all of your sales into that state. In another state, it could just be based on taxable sales in that state. That exposed a lot more companies with responsibility to deal with or manage sales tax across many more states than they previously had.
Whether you have Nexus one way or another, Nexus is Nexus.
In sales tax, we always say start with Nexus.
A Nexus is always a good place to start.
We talk to companies every single day, actually,
who don't truly understand that they have a tax responsibility in these other states.
They thought they didn't have Nexus.
They've exceeded the economic nexus threshold, and they didn't know that they had.
They're not collecting the tax on those taxable sales into that state, and it really creates some liability for these companies.
We do a risk analysis for businesses to help them understand where they've triggered Nexus, and as a result of triggering Nexus, what their tax responsibility is.
A big part of that conversation, though, is saying, okay, look, yeah, you weren't doing this right, you've got some problems, and you're still in a spot where you can be proactive.
We've had a significant number of success stories in helping companies gain compliance by understanding exactly what their Nexus footprint might be.
And we do that very simply, where we analyze your business footprint and your sales footprint to understand what that tax responsibility was.
The question of where do I sell is the first question that you've got to ask, and starting with Nexus, but then you've got to dive in state by state to understand what those Nexus thresholds mean, the implications of those thresholds, and how they apply to your business operations across the board.